moment I realized, I think it was one day I went to the bank to make a withdrawal, and I was on the queue for a very long time. And at the end of the day, someone came out from the bank and said, today they are closed because the network is bad and this and that. And I really needed money to do something. I was in my mind like, no, I really need to be fast and leave this country, because nothing is working.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Lagos. Hello, Nigeria. From wherever you're listening to this in the world, welcome to the Japa Podcast, where we talk about migration, settling, and return migration. Now, we all know that Japa is the wave of the moment. Everyone, everywhere wants to Japa for a better living, new dispensation, and, just a better life in general. And for anyone who doesn't know, Japa is a Nigerian slang, which basically means to run, to escape. A lot of things goes into the process of trying to migrate, trying to Japa, and looking for better opportunities outside your home country. So this podcast show is about exploring the diverse and complex experiences and also sharing stories of migration across the world. My name is Kimmy K, and I'm honored to be your host for the very first episode of the Japa Podcast. And I'm very excited because it's going to be an interesting show. I have guests joining me on the show today, and we're going to have great conversations. We're going to talk, we're going to share stories, we're going to laugh, and it's going to be an interesting one. Firstly, let me give you guys, our listeners, some insight into today's topic. We ran a poll on our Instagram page at Japa Nigeria, and you should follow us on our Instagram page. And over 400 people responded. Our poll said, would you rather use a Japa agent or would you do it yourself? 70% of Nigerians responded that they would rather use an agent, which brings us to today's topic. Japa agents, are they saviors or liars? Our goal today is to discuss the two sides of the spectrum. What are the pros and cons? Which works? Which is cheaper? Which is safer so that they will not scam you? Which is much more better for you to do? I have today joining me two lovely ladies in the studio to dissect this topic. They're from Maple Education Limited, Nigeria's #1 migration consultant with over 20 years of experience. Joining me, I have Mrs. Tukeni Obasi. She is the director and a certified Canadian immigration consultant. I also have Mrs. Mobo Olabode, Director and Certified Canadian Immigration Consultant. And I cannot wait. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. I cannot wait to talk to them and basically just have conversations about today's topic. And I hope that you can join me too. And let's talk about migration. Let's talk about Japa. Do stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Moving to a new community can be exciting, but also challenging. That is why we created Japa Connect, your gateway to connecting with other migrants and thriving in your new home. Whether you are about to leave, have just arrived, or have been living in your new home for months or years, Japa Connect is here for you. Download the Japa Connect app from your Google Play Store and App Store and start connecting.
What differentiates a migration agent from a migration consultant?
I would answer from the point of view of a Canadian immigration consultant, which I am.
Okay.
So Canadian immigration consultants are regulated consultants. They're regulated by authority of the government of Canada. Mm-hmm. So we have the College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultants.
Okay.
To become a member of that college, you need to take a program in a post-secondary institution and get a diploma as an immigration consultant.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and after doing that, you need to take a language test and pass the language test because we're required to have a certain level of proficiency in either English or French.
Okay.
Or both, if you want. And also, you have to not have a criminal record. You have to be a Canadian citizen or a Canadian permanent resident.
Okay.
You also have to take if you like, an almighty exam to get into the profession.
Okay.
So an exam that tests your knowledge of immigration laws and immigration practice. That apply to the college to be admitted as a member of the profession.
Okay.
Just like other professions like the legal profession, the medical professions, those professions that are regulated in Canada are, and they are overseen by a designated organization that the government approves of.
Okay.
So in our situation, by the College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultants. That's a lot.
Okay. It is a lot. I was about to comment on that. That's a long process to get you certified. Essentially, I want us to know the clear difference between an agent and a consultant.
All right. So as Mrs. Obasi said, we are members of CICC. And in addition to what she said also, we have a code of ethics that we have to abide by. We have to be sure, again, that we're giving out the right information and there's a recourse for the client who is negatively affected. I'm dealing with a certified Canadian immigration consultant. So the difference is an agent does not have to do the exams. An agent doesn't have to write the English exams. An agent doesn't have a code of ethics that they have to abide by. So these are, some of them are called ghost agents. We don't have the initial retainer agreement. We have contracts that we sign with the client, outlining what the client obligations are and outlining what our obligations are. And our retainer agreement also contains information on reaching CICC. So it's actually, it's in our best interest to work for the client. So agents don't have this recourse. And an agent can't contact the embassy, for example, the Canadian embassy, if they submitted a file on behalf of a client. They can't contact the embassy because you are recognized as a third party. So, you're not even recognized. You're a ghost agent. So agents also, they accept money on behalf of students. So an agent, for example, can take tuition fees for a student and say, I will pay the tuition fees. So we've had lots of situations where students give their money to the agent and the agent is supposed to pay their tuition fees. As certified Canadian immigration consultants, we are not allowed to take money that does not belong to us, basically for our service charges. Any money outside of that, we're not supposed to take.
Okay.
So that protects, again, the client from fraudulent activities.
Thank you very much for clearing that up, because now I can say in my head it's like, okay, these are agents, these are consultants. And I just wanted to ask, do you think that migration agents are necessary in the migration process?
When you deal with an agent, there's nobody regulating them.
Okay.
They can do things and get away with it. And people have been burnt using agents. So people need to be very careful about who they trust to handle things for them. Agents might not be knowledgeable enough in immigration laws of Canada or whatever country they're representing.
Okay.
So you are using them at your own risk. I'm not painting all agents black, but I'm just saying they are not regulated. But with consultants, you can check, you can go online and check if someone is a regulated consultant and you see their name in the list of approved consultants that are in good standing with the college. So you can, with the CICC, you can always check.
Okay, this is interesting, and I basically want this to come on a lighter note because I want to hear stories. I want you guys to gist me. 20 years, you must have met so many people, been through so many scenarios. I just wonder, can you share one or two stories?
So while we've had fantastic experience with our students who have done very well in Canada, we also have seen the impact of using an agent or using a ghost agent who is not really qualified. An example can be you say, okay, I'm going to be able to fix your bank statements. I can give you bank statements and things like that. And those have very serious consequences if you are applying for anything for Canada, because that's what we now call misrepresentation. You've provided false documents. And if you do so, you could be banned from applying to Canada for as long as 5 years. So we have some people who they just said, my friend said there's this person that will provide bank statements for me. Then they provide the bank statements. We have situations where someone comes in and they don't even know whose bank statement was provided. They have zero information on what was submitted in their file. So those are the kind of things you should be wary about. Those are the not so good stories when you're using agents to apply for visas.
I think I have one or two more questions for you. What are the signs that an agent is shady? That's what I want to know.
For example, I'll provide you bank statements. All you have to do is just bring your passport. That's not possible.
Why?
Because where are all the supporting documents coming from? So you as the agent tells you, just bring your passport. And that's a concern. What about my transcripts? What about the bank statements? Who is the sponsor? So that's like your first sign that this is not going to work. Or they have these too good to be true offers, like immigrate with your family in 10 days, or even get a job offer right away. It's very difficult to get a Canadian job offer as a temp, like if you're not in Canada. So you're a foreign national if you're not in Canada.
Okay.
So situations like that are red flags.
You can always check out the person. Go online, check for a certified immigration consultant list. You would, if you see the person's name on there, you know that the person is a certified person that you can trust, who knows what they're doing.
I love how you're sharing, these stories and telling us about the good, the bad, and the unfortunate. And I just have one final question. Advice. What is your advice for anyone looking to Japa, to migrate to Canada, to any parts of the world?
I would say do your due diligence.
Okay.
I mean, totally, you can do it on your own if you want to apply on your own. Some people have done that, applied on their own, and they've gotten visas. But if you are the type who you are too busy, some people can't fill forms, some people can't do all of those things. If you can't, then we will take the burden off you, because we do this all the time.
And as Mr. Obasi said, you need to be thorough and make sure you have enough funds to take care of yourself. How soon are you able to get a job? What is the job market like? If you are going to study, what school are you going to? What is the teacher-student ratio in that school? How diverse is the school? So those are the type of things that you pay attention to. For Canada is a very peaceful country. I mean, you barely see us on CNN with school shootings and all of those things. You can't just walk into a store in Canada and say you're going to get a gun. That's not how things work. So those kind of things are very, very important to pay attention to.
Thank you very much, ladies. And one thing I picked out was research, and research right. Know where you're getting your information, know who you're talking to. And I like that. Just research. Such lovely conversations with the ladies in the house. Thank you so much, Mrs. Obasi and Mrs. Olabode, for joining us on today's episode of the Japa Podcast. So there's still more to come. We're going to be talking to someone in the abroad who has also Japa, and we're going to just hear our experiences and just have conversations with her. Stay tuned. This is still the Japa Podcast, brought to you by Japa Media. My name is Kimmy K. We'll be right back.
Connect with like-minded people, get personal recommendations, discover local businesses offering services from your home country, and stay updated on events happening nearby. With instant messaging, vibrant chat rooms, groups, and forums, you can share updates, provide and receive support, and build your community wherever you are. Ready to make your new place feel like home? Download the Japa Connect app from your Google Play Store and App Store and start connecting.
Welcome back to the show. This is the Japa Podcast, brought to you by Japa Media, and we're still having conversations on migration and Japa-related topics. I have a guest with me. We're on the call, on a Zoom call, and I'm excited to chat with her and have a conversation with her. Hi. Can you please introduce yourself and tell me where are you at? Where are you living?
My name is Carlo Jim Francis, and at the moment I'm living in Germany. Though I was a student in Ukraine, but due to the war, I had to come to Germany, and I'm residing here at the moment.
Oh, wow. I want to ask you, what was the moment you knew you had to leave the country? You just knew you had to Japa?
I think the point of view we're coming from is Nigeria, right? So the moment I realized, I think it was one day I went to the bank to make a withdrawal, and I was on the queue for a very long time, and at the end of the day, someone came out from the bank and said, today they are closed because the network is bad and this and that. And I really needed money to do something. I was in my mind like, no, I really need to be fast and leave this country, because nothing is working.
Oh. So that was your breaking point when the queues were too much and you were stressed out. You were like, you have to go.
Yeah, of course, there are a lot of factors, but I mean, the thing that made me hasten, and tighten my seatbelt to say, yes, I really want to leave this country now. I think that was the major experience for me.
So your process, the process to Japa, the process to migrate, how did you go about your process? Did you go through an agent or did you apply yourself? Before
I was successful, I had a series of agents I used, and of course, I lost my money and I didn't get the opportunity to travel.
I want to talk about your experience with losing money, because that must have been frustrating, losing money to these agents. But what country did you have your mind set on that, okay, this was where I want to go when you decided to leave?
Well, initially I wanted to go to Canada. So I tried once or twice, and the once and twice that I tried, I lost money in it.
Wow. Were you planning to go through the school route? Was this school that was going to take you to Canada?
Well, initially it wasn't school, though I wanted to get there, and I maybe changed my visa to student start my master's, but it was actually work. I was promised a work. If I get to Canada, I was going to work, and I said, okay, so it was a work visa I was supposed to go with.
But Canada didn't work out.
No, it didn't work out.
And they took your money.
They did, and of course, my
your hard-earned money, especially like in Nigeria where things are already, upside down.
I can say that again.
I am so sorry about that.
I was really affected, but of course it opened my eyes to, how would I put it, the merits and the demerits of, using an agent. I think so. The experience for me, it's immeasurable, all right, because, these agents, they are the good ones too. We don't have to rule out the fact that there are agents that actually know what they do, and they issue these visas to people. For me, I think I got to the point, the point I actually understood this might not work. First month, the third month, it was still the same thing, and they tried coming up with this thing. Okay, can I do another country for you? I said, no, this is what I want. But even when I said, okay, can you, all right, which country do you want to do for me? And, they start giving you options of, when you even try to find information or Google these countries, you know that nothing is happening there. It's not where you want to go. It's not really what you want to do. And I think they know what they are doing. Okay. They know that this country is not going to work, but because they see that you really need it, you're frustrated at this moment as a young person. Yeah, you really need it, because of course we are all Nigerians. We know how it is there. They see that this is really what you want, and of course they take advantage of that.
That's unfortunate, and I think that's the story of so many other people that are trying to Japa, and it's important that we have these type of conversations to let people know about the pros and the cons of these agents and migration. So what are the challenges that you faced during this process? You mentioned one of these stories that they will say, okay, another country, and that's not what you wanted. So tell me, what are some of the challenges that you faced?
Basically, for me, it's getting the right agent, getting the right person that will do this thing for you. I think that's the basic challenge. And one thing I also found that as a Nigerian is that the main reason why a lot of us don't really get what we want is because we don't like accessing information for ourselves. Right? We rather sit back and let people do these things for us, than getting the information ourselves, putting in the work, trying to, if you want to, for instance, people that want to go through a study visa, all right, going through to the school portal, all right, writing the emails, talking to them and understanding who we want and doing it. I think that's the basic for me.
I'm curious, how many agents did you try before you finally got the perfect one who helped you with the country? How many agents do you have to go through?
Well, I would say two, but I spoke to a lot of people, but I also have a lot of my friends that have traveled and, of course, they tried a lot. I had a situation where my friend was telling me he had submitted all his files and they keep calling the agent and the numbers are not going anymore. So not just from, maybe I might have tried two, but a lot of people that have tried 3, 4 to 5 people and they keep getting these rejections of the visas not coming out. I think the first time I tried, I think it was like 1.5 million for the first time.
Okay.
I had to drag and I didn't get shishi back from it. The second time I was a bit laid back, but I got this reassurances. It's going to work, it's 100%, and in that one, I think it was like 1.2 because I know I had to pay 700 and I gave the other one later. And when I realized it wasn't going to work, I will have to tell you, I felt like I was the fool because of course, I've done this before.
What would you say, like from your own personal experience, do you think it's much more wiser and safer doing it yourself or going through an agent?
Of course, I'm here now. I have a lot of experience. I would say that if I were to know what I know now, I would actually do it myself because you will be informed more about what you're doing and where you're going to. But of course, we have people that, don't want to go through all those stress. I don't know, whichever works for the person, there are people that are very inquisitive. They want to find out, read about things for themselves, which is good, all right? But if you see a good agent, both of them are actually good, but it depends on what the person really wants.
Okay, but do you think it would cost lesser or more or higher to do it by yourself than using an agent?
Definitely it's going to cost lesser because these people, it's their work, all right? You step into someone's office, they are paying for office space and they are also paying their staffs, all right? But I think when you do it yourself, I know it's cheaper because, for instance, visa fees might be like $100 or €100, depending on the country you're going to. And the agents, they will have to put like triple the price. You get situations where the agents tell you have to pay like $500 for visa fee, when in the actual sense it's just $100. The greedy ones put it like $700 or $800, depending. It's actually less than when you do it yourself, than when these agents do it.
Thank you so much, Jane. I just have one final question to wrap this conversation up. What is your advice? The advice that you would give someone that wants to japa or migrate to another country? What will you tell them? What will you basically tell them?
For me, I would say it's not really an advice. Just like the financial investors will tell you, what works for me might not work for you. For the next person and the other person, we are actually different people. I might want to read a lot and the person might not want to read. So I think it comes from a place of decision and knowing your strength and your weaknesses, what you really want. If going with an agent works for you, good. If you can put in the work, get more information, do the right things for you to get the visa, I think is also right. So I think in position has to weigh the options for themselves.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode. I'm really glad to have you. Do have a wonderful day, okay? Bye.
Japa Connect introduces you to a vibrant community of migrants, people like you, helping each other settle in, share experiences, and build a life together. Download the Japa Connect app from your Google Play Store and App Store and start connecting.
I have a lovely young lady on a call who is joining me to basically share her experiences with travel agents, and she has quite the story to tell. I'm going to let her introduce herself. Hi.
My name is Ifunaya. I'm an entrepreneur and a writer and a voiceover artist.
Welcome, Ifunaya.
Thank you very much.
Please, can you tell us about your experiences with travel agents in general?
I would say my first experience is bad. My first experience is bad, and that was the last time I ever tried doing anything with a travel agent ever again, because at some point they seem to come out as all truthful and they try to pressure you, and then they are so smooth when they talk, but at the end of the day they bombard you with stress themselves, and then you get frustrated and there's this anger that comes with it and you just give up.
Okay. When was this, and how did you meet this very unfortunate agent who put you through this stress?
I saw an online ad and I did contact them, and that period we had just come out of the pandemic. I had finished my NYSC. My mom wanted my master's, and my siblings were interested too. We contacted them and they said, oh, this is how much they charge, per person. And they didn't even charge in Naira, the fact that they live in Nigeria. And then they charged in Euro. They started out so good. And at some point, I picked interest in going to a Schengen country to go to school.
Okay.
And I don't know how my love or attraction just fell to Poland. So when it fell to Poland, I was like, okay, Poland is nice. I did my own research. I found out a lot of things. So by the time we mentioned Poland, called the amount of money and said it had to be charged in Euro. And then they gave their first reasons because the fact that currently there was an issue where there's only one Polish embassy in Africa and it's situated in Nigeria, and a lot of other students from other parts of Africa, they are shuffled on a draw. So like every month they pick up 5 or 10 people to come for interview or give them dates, Fair enough. And then, but when they now charged per person 1,200 euros as agent fee, at first I told my mom, okay, me, I'm very economical. So I was like, let's not do it, And then when my mom was like, okay, this was going to happen. Since there are 2 people right now, she's going to pay for 1 person, first of all. So we'll pay the next one when we see the admission letter. Then when we asked him, he said that money covered the process. Mind you, doesn't cover the application fee. And then he now had to come up with the fact that because they had some insiders in the Polish embassy, they would be giving some people money. You understand how that systematic thing works. And we thought about the official rate of Euro. And they said no, it was the black market rate. So you bring the equivalent of that money in Naira to their office. I brought out a list of schools I had done research for because I had already applied for one myself. Then I discovered that you had to go through Ministry of Education, Foreign Affairs, Now, in that process, the money to pay for education and foreign affairs, they made us bear the cost of it while it's supposed to be inside the agency money. But aside the 1,200 euros, they were charging this. If he wants to go somewhere, they say my mom should bring this. If you want to do this, mommy should bring that. Along the line, I started getting frustrated because I used to go on YouTube, look at videos, try to get knowledge of some things. So when I come to counter him, you go tell my mom that I'm countering him. This is his business. And at some point, he wanted to cause a rift between me and my mom. She was not like, at some point I started regretting that I was the one that had to go through this. People went to their website and now my mom is bearing the brunt of it. We tried to book a date for an embassy stuff. It was becoming a problem. We wouldn't get, he said you had to stay on a raffle draw, on a shuffle. Every month they pick you have to stay like that. So it was becoming worrisome. So when my mom was like, okay, what are we going to do? He said, hey, this is in the embassy, his guys, who he knows, he has given them money. And that's why the money was even charged like that. And they've promised to return it. We now told the school to please write to the embassy. Now, for every time I tried to access the mail, to check what he was doing, he'd go and tell my mom that I was accessing. This is my email. I have rights to access. This is my school admission procedure. I have right to it. If I want to maybe respond to a mail, he said I shouldn't respond to it. I should let him respond to it. I said, fine. One day I woke up, he had logged me out of the mail. He had logged my sister out of her own mail. In my mind, I said, okay, if this is not going, let me look for other Schengen countries. I brought about Estonia, I brought Lithuania. Along the line, he started bringing Russia, Bulgaria.
Which is not what you wanted.
These are in EU, but these are not Schengen countries. Okay. This is not what I want. Now, when I brought about Estonia and Lithuania, it was like, it doesn't do those countries. Meanwhile, in your website, there are more than 16 countries of the Schengen in your website. There's Hungary. Whenever I bring it up, you don't do this country. You don't do this country anymore. You don't do this country anymore. Why is it still on your website?
What were the moments you noticed that something is wrong? These are red flags. We should be wary. We should be wary of this person.
When he started delaying in sending applications to the embassy. One, when he started now saying that the word he says today doesn't match the word he says tomorrow. And sometimes if you want to now talk to him, he would want to dodge a call or cut off the conversations. And then there was this always attacking mode when you're trying to show him this is what it is showing and this is your own understanding. It's right for you to explain this is not how it is, explain it for me. And then he'll just at one moment shout or say, this is not it. Are you telling me my job? Always trying to be defensive. I just started seeing all that a red flag. And sometimes when usually he used to be around in his office and he was not around anymore. You go there, you see only the secretary. Then he gave an excuse that he was opening a branch in Lagos. Last time I went to his office with police, he was not there.
Looking back, do you think that there were things that you'd have done differently to prevent this unfortunate situation from happening?
I would have listened to one YouTube content creator and done it myself. Trust me. Because looking back at that money, it's painful sometimes. It's very annoying.
What advice would you give to others who are looking to book travel arrangements through an agent?
Please do more research. There are a lot of Africans and Nigerians that try to help us on YouTube, even though ones don't like to reply mails or reply to comments and tell you how they went about it.
Okay, so your advice is basically just do more research about wherever you're going to, whoever you're talking to, and whatever you're doing.
It gives you more edge so that when the agents want to start doing sweet talk,
you
would know whether this is right or this is wrong.
Thank you very much, Ifunanya. Thanks, guys, for sticking with me. It's been such an enlightening conversation with all our guests. Jackpot agents could be saviors or they could be liars. So you need to tread carefully, arm yourself with enough information, and do not be afraid to do it yourself. You can join the conversation on our social media platforms at Japa Nigeria on all social media platforms. Don't forget to visit our website www.japa.com.ng to get every information on migration, settling, and return migration. My name is Kimmy K, the host of the Japa Podcast, brought to you by Japa Media. And until next time, goodbye.